Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai. Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Spectacle on your favorite station, Television Nigerian. I am your host, Daniel Atai, and today we'll be looking at the example from Kenya, following the examples of Kenya. Kenya is an East African state, and they concluded their presidential election in 2017, precisely October. And after that, the elected president, the fourth elected president, Uhuru Kenyatta, called the opposition parties together, opposition leaders, talking about the likes of Raila Odinga, Marawati, and so on, before a general prayer breakfast, a national prayer breakfast feast, so that they could forge ahead and move their country forward in unity and solidarity. I will be looking into Nigeria's in prospect to following that particular example. I've been your host, Daniel Atai. Stay tuned after this timeout. We'll continue the discussion with you together.
The issue here we have to begin to look at is that at the time of independence, I don't know if there was a trajectory to where we are going to.
But how could it be that credible, free and fair under manual conduct of election?
That is where our problem lies, and that is why people are now saying that, advising that we should move, that the world has gone into digital. We should move from the manual to the digital.
We cannot keep doing same thing and expecting a different result.
The only way you create jobs from your ministry is that you have to encourage local content.
If you look at the profile of Sally Mama,
there is a caveat in this leave given to him. He should seek medical help if he's fine.
Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. Welcome back. Recall that before the general election in Kenya, just like we did in Nigeria here, between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, a lot of people died on the course of the struggle to the presidential house. And if we also are judged to look into our own polity, especially electionary period, where fracas between loyalties, party faithfuls, and so on used to have violence here and there, after election, usually in the African continent, people don't get together in unity to forge a common front in solidarity. But we are seeing these precedents for the first time, where Uhuru Kenyatta, the fourth president of Kenya, Republic of Kenya, called all the opposition leaders together for a national breakfast feast, prayer, where he said they should unite and forge a common ground. From the perspective of Raila Odinga, he accused the president of being, compromised with corruption, and he said he wants to take over and then so that he can fight corruption just like our President Muhammadu Buhari is doing in Nigeria now. And the election saw the victory of President Kenyatta at 54.17%, while Raila Odinga got 44.94%, and he lost that election. But what is paramount in this discussion today, which I want you to participate by calling the numbers displayed on your screen if you have anything to tell us, is the fact that despite all the brouhahas, the hullabaloo, the violence and whatever, the loyalties, the factional loyalties, the sentiment, the mediocrity, and so on, today they have come together to forge a common front for their country. And it is important that we, the leader of Africa, the giant of Africa, I'm talking about Nigeria, between President Muhammadu Buhari and ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and all the governors of the 36 states should call their opposition leaders together and forge what we call solidarity for governance. The essence of any government is for governance. The essence of a president is to, preside over the nation and execute governance. The same is true with governors. The same is true with ministers, departmental head agencies, and other organizations. So we will look at this short clip of what transpired between Kenyatta and the various opposition leaders before their Chief Justice, the Chief Justice of their nation, in the person of David Maraga. You will get to see that they sat together and then signed an MOU before David Maraga to do what? To continue to foster governance and fight corruption to the letter, to the barest minimum, to eradicate it completely in Kenya. And that is why we're beginning to hear rumor that even Obama is coming out to become president of Kenya and so on. So what is your pick? The number to call is +234 81 3701 5949 and +234 7054 327616. They are displayed on your screen. If you have anything to say, your contributions, please, if you're watching us, call us and make your input. Stay tuned for the video clip.
We have campaigned against one another. We have said nasty things about each other. We have hurt one another. On my behalf, Ndugu, I ask for your forgiveness. And I tender my apology.
Mr. President, I thought you were going to do this on all our behalf. So, as my brother President Uhuru has said, and maybe I'm the one who is most accused, I want my brother Stephen, on behalf of all our teams and following in the footsteps of these great leaders, I want to say for all the things that I did say or do on behalf of all our teams, I want to ask for your forgiveness. And on my behalf and all those behind us, I tender my apology.
Yeah. On behalf of all the members of NASA, I first want to thank my brother Uhuru Kenyatta for what is just done now. But I just wanted to mention that before we shook hands, We had a very long discussion. We took a journey down the memory lane where it started. And then we asked ourselves, when did the rain begin to beat us as Kenyans? And we found where the rain began to beat us and when. And we said that we have the ability, working together, to go back down there and reunite the people of Kenya. And we said that the divisions, the hatred, the tension that has existed between our people from all those generations to now will end by with us, the two of us. Never again shall a Kenyan die because of an election. Never again shall a Kenyan deprive a fellow Kenyan of his birthright because of election. And we will also fight corruption together. This is the meaning of the handshake. And we are committed to ensure that the handshake and the MOU that we signed shall be completely implemented to the letter. On behalf of my team and myself, I, in front of this congregation gathered here, prayer breakfast, tender my apology to my brother. During our discussions, he accused me of having insulted him. I also told him he also insulted me. He called me Kimundu Muguruki. Apologize.
Oh, wow. Speaker Justin, you started this. And we forgot to really say pole on the loss of your mother. It's a very difficult moment that you could even find time to stand here. We are all with you in prayer. And I think it's Senator Enhoff and Lord Hastings who took it up from there. And now see the outcome. How I wish my brother, and I will report, I think my brother Raila and I will make sure that we talk to our brothers Musalia Mudavadi and Weta. How I wish they were here. But I'm sure they are watching. And the nation is watching. On my behalf as well, I said very hard things. In fact, when it comes to being angry because of political outcomes, I think I was the culprit number one. I felt angry. And I remember now, one of the lessons I've learned is never be angry with your political competitor. It doesn't help. Neither does it help to look at history and lament over what has happened. I think it's good to look forward. And looking forward, we must all continue to do. It's a great nation. President Farmajo, I even gave my name, one of your clans in Somalia, that of Digli Merifli, in the hope that the Somalis can learn what is happening here in Kenya. It's a great neighbor we have, but a neighbor who is not at peace. To that extent, we cannot ourselves claim to be peaceful. So as we do this, we hope, Mr. President, you have actually demonstrated leadership. And this resolve to fight corruption is absolutely unique. As my brother said, we stand with you as you make sure that every Kenyan cent, I think we should be like the Maasais and the crickets. We must look after our crickets and not even those pennies, and make sure that this nation will stand strong in the community of nations. First of all, we must get rid of this ghost called corruption in real terms and in quick time. And I think that hearing my Lord the Chief Justice giving that commitment to the nation, that there will be no sacred cows, that nobody will be allowed to steal anymore from the Kenyan people, is heartwarming. We will stand with you, Mr. President. My brother William, you are the hustler number one. But a big hustler. I think you handed that over to me. I forgive you, and may God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Asante sana.
Wow, that was wonderful, fantastically wonderful, and we hope to follow such exemplary life and for political unity and national reconciliation. And of course, like I said, following the Kenya's example is what we need in Nigeria right now. And it is important and paramount for our president and the various political party factions, as well as governors. If you actually want to sustain credible governance, there must first be need for political reconciliation across boards of political parties, and even intra-party reconciliations, because we do know that within political parties there are factions again, and that doesn't help well, especially when it comes to executing project works, governance for people to benefit. This subject talking about democratic dividends and benefits, which if you watch the African settings, especially with reference to our country, Nigeria, you discover that there has not been sustainability, there has not been continuity in governance, and especially in laws that should provide dividends of governance, talking about policies, that there has not been this cogent continuity in our polity, in our governmental policies as well, and even in the system of democracy that we practice and our electoral umpires and our electoral institutions. So if we create this unity, it will be easier to lead. If you want to lead, definitely we know you must have opposition, and sometimes there is nothing you could do to please opposition, but you can just borrow a leaf from what President Uhuru Kenyatta has just done. So I, for one, want to set that agenda, and Spectacle want to set that agenda for our government and our state governments around the 36 states, that they should follow exemplified character of Uhuru Kenyatta and the opposition leader Rai Odinga and Mwai Kibaki, before their Chief Justice of the nation, David Maraga. So we could as well do the same thing in the giant of Africa, talking about Nigeria. It is possible. So I wait for your calls if you want to contribute. If you have anything to contribute, it is time for you to call in and give us your quota. The lines are already open, and for the benefit of those who are vision impaired, you can still call. Is on the screen, +234 813701 5949, +234 705 432 7616, and make your input. You can also call us via the WhatsApp. They are all on WhatsApp, so we'll get to take your correction. But don't forget the essence of this particular topic today. It is about national unity, national political reconciliation, following the examples, the Kenya's example. And it is possible, a situation where you are a leader, you are a governor, you are a president, and all you see around you is witch hunters and witch hunting. It will break down, it will not only break down your sincerity, it will also break down that the capacity you have in you to discharge or execute governance. This witch hunting and surrounding political, how do I put it, political mendacity, political animosity. It will just make you and derail you from being focused. Let's pick this call and see what the caller has to say.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, this is Right Comrade John Acha calling.
Okay, right, comrade. You Acha John, you are welcome to the program. You can make your input. We are talking about national reconciliation and political reconciliation following the examples of Kenya.
Well, first of all, I'd like...
Oh, sorry about that. I think we lost him. And if you can call back, you're free to do that and contribute your quota. And like I was saying, with a few minutes remaining, that political animosities we have fought ourselves. We have sometimes violence erupted in most areas in the countries prior to the election and during the election. A lot of people died. A lot of people were injured. A lot of people... most of them are still in the hospital, and exchange of ugly words and words that are not supposed to be used, against maybe your governor, your president, and so on. We use those things. I think there is need for national reconciliation, political reconciliation for the government at various cadre, whether at the federal level, the state level, and the local government level, to have this integral political and governmental reconciliation for sustainability, focus in governance. Because if you are a leader and you are incapable of executing project work because of, tussles from oppositions and wanton criticisms, especially when you are performing below the air, you may not foster, perfectly, in governance. There is need for that, and that is why this particular agenda setting today in this topic is paramount from the studio of television Nigerian and your favorite program Spectacle. So if you have anything to say, call us again and contribute your input. We are waiting. Or miss this call again. However, while we are waiting for the calls to come in, we will still, give more examples like what transpired of recent from the Supreme Court verdict have affirmed most of our governors. The governor of Adamawa State, the governor of Bauchi State, the governor of Plateau State, the governor of recent to Zamfara State, Oyo State, Benue State, and even the one that was dethroned in faraway Imo State, talking about Ihedioha. So, Fintri of Adamawa State, Ihedioha Uzodinma of Imo State, Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State, Ganduje of Kano State, Matawale of Zamfara State, and so on and so forth, Makinde of Oyo State. So call your opposition leaders and the opposition parties and let them contribute their quota in governance, because opposition is not for nothing, it's there for something, not only as a watchdog like the Fourth Estate or the REM, the press, but they are also to look at your fault and put you, in the pedestal of governance so that you will be focused. Let's pick this call again and see what this caller has to say. Hello?
Yes, am I on to Spectacle?
Yeah, you are on to Spectacle. You are live, and if you are watching us, you know the topic
Very
already.
nice topic we are discussing this afternoon.
All right, thank you very much. And what's your name?
Yes, my name is Wilson. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, Wilson from Abuja.
I'm coming from Abuja.
Okay.
From Asokoro in Abuja.
Okay, from Asokoro in Abuja. So give us your contribution, please.
Okay, I think following what just happened in Nigeria, the recent elections, the verdicts from the various courts, winners and losers, a lot of people are happy right now. A lot of people are sad and depressed following the results. I think a reconciliation at this point is what Nigeria needs moving forward.
Yes.
Right from the presidency down to even the local councils.
Yes.
Because there are always issues with Nigerian elections.
Yes.
There are always issues with Nigerian elections. Hardly do you have a loser calling to congratulate a winner.
Yeah.
So taking an example from from what happened in Kenya, I think it will go a long way in fostering the national unity which Nigeria needs right now.
Exactly.
But it is another question I want to ask is it going to be possible, given the kind of terrain we have, our political, religious, and everything divided?
Yeah, if
possible in Nigeria?
Yes, it is very possible. If it is, if your background is very noisy. If you are watching, you can tune in the volume on your TV set, and then you can make a meaningful contribution. Now, it is possible. If it is possible in Kenya, Wilson, I think it is possible in Nigeria, because Nigeria is the giant of Africa, and we must lead by example. All right, thank you for calling. We are seeing a WhatsApp call of Comrade Acha again. We just mixed that, but if you can call us back, Acha, we just have 5 minutes left. You can take 2 more calls, and we'll be done with the program. Thank you very much. Sorry. Call us back if you can. Yeah. Hello.
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 Hello,
Good afternoon.
My name is Sam Benson.
Your name is what?
Sam Benson.
Okay, please tune down the volume on your TV set there.
Hello, my name is Sam Benson. I'm watching your show from Facebook.
Okay, Sandem, you are calling from where?
Facebook.
I know you are calling from where? I know you are watching us live, but you are calling from where?
Guarimpa.
From Guarimpa. Okay, give us your input. Sandem.
Well, I think
Sandem.
I think like the whole idea is using what is, because.
Sorry. Well, if you can, still call us back. We are still here. We're talking about following the examples of Kenya for political and national reconciliation, so that we can move our country forward in governance and in unity. Hello.
Yes. Right, Comrade John Acha on the line again. Sorry for the little break in transmission.
All right, thank you very much. Go ahead, Comrade John Acha, calling from Garki.
First of all, I would want to, give kudos to the president of Kenya.
All right.
The step he has taken to unite all politicians, both opposition and that of his party. In fact, I watched it live on television, and the way the man apologized from the depth of his heart.
Yes.
Even if you are the devil, you have no reason not to accept those apologies. And in a modern democracy, not just modern, any type of democracy, that is what should be attainable.
Yes.
But you see, in Nigeria, the politics of tribalism, hatred, has eaten so deep into the very fabric of the political foundation of this country. And why? It is because most of our politicians are greedy. Secondly, politics in Africa and Nigeria is too expensive. So you see, when people grab power, do not want to leave power.
Yeah.
And so they do anything possible to hold on to that power. And that is why you see somebody who is governor today, his opponent cannot even tell him, okay, yes, we are finished. We have gone to Supreme Court, we have gone to Appeal Court, we have gone to all the courts. Okay, congratulations, it's now time for you to govern.
Yes.
Thank you, let us all come together and govern the state. No. What you still see is that same man that has lost election, pay social media miscreants to go around and cause assembly, to destabilize that government. Or you know what we see in Benue, that when the time for election started coming, that is when headsmen started operating. But the moment the election timetable came out, headsmen knew that yes, election have come. Headsmen took their privilege to come out to the bush to go and vote. So we did after election, we are no longer seeing heaven in Benue State. Politics of bitterness.
Anyway, Comrade John Nasha.
So we all need to come to imbibe, the way Kenya play their politics. Because if we don't come together, if we don't reconcile after every election, because after election, what is next is governance.
It's true. It's true.
For somebody to govern, is a very, very...
You need a peaceful environment to govern. Yeah.
So you see, that's how to govern, you are busy fighting your enemy.
Exactly. Yeah, and that is why TVN is setting the agenda for the government on spectacle today.
Yes, so I must really commend your program. Very, very educating, very wonderful program.
Thank you.
You are doing a wonderful job. I have never missed a program since you started airing it.
Thank you.
I just want to, encourage you guys over there. I tell you guys are doing a wonderful job. Please keep it up.
Oh, thank you very much, comrade. Thank you very much, comrade. And that happens. This caller is really, really disturbing. I think I have to pick his call before we call it a day. And oh no, we lost him again. And if you can, so just one more call, just for your sake, and we'll be done. One more call, please. Comrade Racha and Samdek called in to say that, is it possible? And I said, yes, it is possible in Nigeria. We can do it. We can set that example. In fact, it should have been us, Nigeria, that should, set that, what the Kenyan president and the opposition leaders have done in faraway East Africa. But it is not too late. Even the governors, we can start that if we want to see meaningful development and continuity in our policies and polity and governance. Anyway, while the call is no longer coming, I would draw the curtain here on today's spectacle. You can follow us on our social media platforms and drop your comment. If the program have interested you drop your comment and your contribution. I've been your host, Daniel Atai, and thanks for watching. Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai.